Happy Spookies, everybody. It's Fred, your found footage fiend, and today the theme of this video is going to be found footage films that just have an absolutely crazy third act. Now, the inspiration for this video in particular is this found footage film that I came across on the subreddit Found Footage, which I highly recommend if you're into Reddit and found footage films. I help moderate it. There's a few other mods. It's kicking, it's booming, things are looking up over there, and I was able to score a link for this movie called Mount Nabi. I'll actually go ahead and read the synopsis right here. In October 2013, several video cameras and 8 bodies of men and women were found in the mountain known as Mount Nabi, located in the Chobu region of Japan. Many of the investigators fainted at the scene as the bodies were gruesomely decapitated by wild animals. A police investigation was carried, but the killer was never found to this day. After watching this movie, I kind of wanted to make a video involving movies that just have a crazy third act, because this one, like the other ones, start out very typical. You have a group of people, they're going out to the mountains to make a movie, a documentary, or I believe it's a horror movie. The cast is pretty funny. You have like 2 lead actresses or 2 actresses that are kind of somewhat bumping heads. You have a funny cast and crew. While they're out there, they're heading to a shrine, they just happen to see a UFO. And of course, it's shaky cam all over the freaking place. None of them could capture the UFO at all. This ends up leading them to change their idea from a ghost story to a UFO story. And they go looking for this UFO out in the woods. And for whatever reason, at some point, they all decide to split up and go in different ways.
Is it right? We should split up. Maybe we can cover more ground that way. Yeah. Yeah, good idea. Really?
And from here on out, it takes about 20-25 minutes maybe for the movie to really just shift into a different gear, and bodies are being decapitated. It is absolutely wild, especially once people start missing and being dragged away, and we have a group of friends that head into a cave and they find the creature. Oh man, dude, I'm gonna go ahead and put a spoiler warning right here and a
viewer discretion is advised.
So the creature out in the woods that's basically decapitating everybody and dragging some of the girls away and taking them to a cave so it can like freaking elope with them against their freaking will. It is absolutely wild when these people are in a cave and they turn a corner and they hear their friend kind of moaning, and you just see like this fucking 12-foot tall alien looking creature, elongated fucking penis, dude. It was wild and just came out of fucking nowhere, dude.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Like, that's not even the craziest part. It gets even more insane later on, but that's as far as I will go for spoiling it. The next film I actually want to just briefly mention, because my last video is actually all about it. Anyway, so the movie we're going to go and talk about is Evidence. It came out in 2012, directed by Howie Alskins. And the movie, this one again, starts off very typical. You have a bunch of kids going out to the woods, making a sort of documentary. They are stalked by some sort of creature, and it just gets absolutely batshit insane. It has to do with like zombies and crazy bad experiments and secret military groups. Oh man, I'm not going to get into that one too much. Like I said, I already did a video on that. The next film I want to go ahead and briefly talk about is the Dyatlov Pass incident, also known as the Devil's Pass. The interesting thing about this one, it's based on true events.
53 years ago, 9 people set up camp in the Ural Mountains in Russia. It had become known as the Dyatlov Pass incident. Are you scared? No. We're recreating a trip in which 9 people died. Yeah, what, like 50 years ago?
And this film is about 5 Americans going out over there and trying to figure out the mystery of what happened to the hikers out in the Dyatlov Pass. I don't want to really spoil this one because it's also, it gets a little mind tripping near the fucking end of this movie, but it's so interesting what they do. And they also throw in some really cool things like the Philadelphia experiment, things like teleportation. And it's so wild, like, okay, what the hell? Why would you be talking about that? It's just about 5 students going out to mountains to go look for some hikers. It starts off like that. It starts off with these dudes out there trying to find any clues they can. They end up finding some sort of secret bunker, while the Russian government is also trying to like deter them away and trying to do it very subtly. And once they get into the bunker, this is where like the mind trippy shit happens. I don't want to spoil much with this one. This one I actually think is streaming on Tubi. And speaking of Tubi, here's another one that's on there, and this one is called They're Watching. This one came out in 2016, and it is such a fun movie because of the concept that it takes and the fun it has with it. It's set somewhere in Europe. I'm not entirely sure right off the bat of my head.
Welcome to Moldova, where the old meets new in surprising ways. Moldova's beautiful. I think it's time for a change. I want to slow down, focus on my life. Becky wants a house to raise a family. I like it. I like it all.
You serious?
But here's a quick synopsis. An American TV crew gets trapped in centuries-old web of revenge, horror, and blood when their home improvement show is attacked by an angry Eastern European village out to kill the show's star. So here we have a documentary crew following up 6 months later. We have like this lady, she bought a home. I don't know who she is, I can't remember. She's somebody, but she bought a home somewhere in some small little village. And 6 months later, a crew is sent out to see what's going on, see the progress. And while they're there, of course, they're causing shenanigans in this small little town. And while they're there visiting this small little village, they're causing shenanigans all throughout the town, pissing everybody off. But at the same time, you can tell that these town folks are really pissed off, and you're not entirely sure why they're so mad at these people. It starts off pretty typical, but as the movie gets on, especially in the last, I want to say 10 to 15 minutes, it goes balls through the wall. It just said, the director said, you know what, this is what we're gonna do, fuck it, let's just do it. To even spoil what happens at the end of this movie is just deserves a slap in the face, because it is so insane, and you really have to suspend your disbelief when you watch the last part of this movie. It is completely grounded in reality up until that very end. Doña! Now that I'm talking about this movie out loud, another film that I wasn't even planning on talking about, but I just recalled that has a crazy fucking third act is the latest Paranormal Activity movie, Next of Kin or whatever I don't remember what the fuck it was called. I was not a big fan of that movie. I think it just has to do with the fact that they have slapped the name on there. If it had any other name on there, I think I would have enjoyed it more. But the fact that they just try to slap that name onto the franchise really pissed me off. But that movie, again, starts off somewhat typical, and at the very end of that movie, it just goes balls to the wall crazy with all these freaking, what do they call people that just live in Amish folk? All these Amish folks just, oh man, you all seen that one? That was like the best part of that movie. And the last film I want to go ahead and talk about is brand new found footage film, The Outwaters.
Please call me. I'm so worried about you and your brother. I haven't heard from you guys in days. I had a really bad dream. It was horrible. It was really sad. Please call me. I'm so worried.
Directed by Robbie Banfitch. Now this came out in theaters and it dropped on, I think, Screenbox for a little bit. You could also rent it on Amazon Prime. So if you're not familiar with this one, this is about 4 friends who are heading out to the Mojave Desert to record a music video for one of their friends. While they're out there, the first night, I believe they end up hearing some really odd, loud, banging, booming noises coming from the distance. You're not even entirely sure what that could possibly be. It really does not sound like thunder, but I think some of them try to even say it could be thunder. And right around the 40 or so minute mark, right when the second night is popping off and they're starting to hear these loud booming noises, the main guy has also been experiencing some very weird phenomenon, like seeing some sort of lights kind of just bend in within themselves, as well as hearing these very odd noises coming from within the mountain. Around that 40-ish minute mark, all hell just absolutely breaks loose and you're thrown into this fucking insane, nightmarish fucking world where there's just nothing but like blood and confusion, and you're just left trying to figure out what exactly is happening, but you're just as clueless as the person filming this entire thing. Okay, with that being said, I want to just go ahead and thank the universe that we made it through one video again without the phone ringing. We are on such a great streak for that happening. Also, really quick, if there's a found footage film that you've seen that you feel has a crazy third act, please let me know in the comments. I'm just trying to gather up as many as I can. Alright, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off this video. I hope you're all doing well and have a most excellent day.